Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Jeremy Walker Media. Wow. Australia have beaten Tunisia 1-0 at the FIFA World Cup in the second round of group stage matches in Qatar. And I don't know if anyone's seen the footage of Fed Square in Melbourne when Mitchell Duke scored that goal and at the final whistle. All the scenes as well, it's just they went absolutely mental, all those hundreds of people. I too was going absolutely mental with my friends. We all caught up at someone's house and we were hugging, we were cheering, we were almost crying really. And yeah, Australia did it. They won their third ever game at a FIFA World Cup and absolutely incredible. I'm still a bit in shock, to be honest. We've scored 2 open play goals as well, which is basically an achievement in itself for Australia. If you remember, Jedinak scoring all those penalties, set pieces not so long ago. And great performance. Graham Arnold's men, he set them out, perfectly tactically as well. Even the Tunisia coach was giving him credit after the game. And we pressed really well. We pressed as a unit. We didn't, allow Tunisia to get in behind too often. We forced them wide, but not, we didn't have their wingers getting to the byline and whipping balls in. We, forced them deep to, whip crosses into the box. And Harry Souttar and Rouse were there to head it away. And Mitchell Duke scoring as well. I was one scrutinising him. A lot of people in Australia were scrutinising him. Why is he starting this game against Tunisia? But wow, he performed absolutely incredibly, getting his goal. What a header it was, that glancing header to the far post. And fully deserved as well. Not only did he score that great goal, he was involved in the build-up for his own goal as well. Harry Souttar chips it in to him on the halfway line, and he, on the run, first time touches it down for his teammate who spreads it wide to Goodwin on the left wing, and then he whips in a ball. The cross gets deflected, and Mitch Duke is sprinting from midfield, and he gets into the box. Just so much heart and effort from him in the game, and he has to readjust himself for the header. Perfect header into the far corner, wheeling away in celebration, doing that J celebration with his hands for his son Jackson. You can see the moment between those two. Duke has had, a tough footballing career, a bit lonely at times in Japan. He's played in Saudi Arabia as well. He's playing in the Japanese second division, and he's done it the tough way. And now he's playing for the Socceroos, and he's scored a goal at a World Cup. So tops to Mitchell Duke, well done. And you've answered your critics. You pressed really well in this game too, Mitchell Duke. Led the press from the front, put the Tunisian defenders and goalkeeper under great pressure, forcing them to clear. Very often, and then once they did, Harry Souttar was there to head it back down to Aaron Moy and the other midfielders, and we could restart phases of play, especially in that first half. And we just had Tunisia really locked in that first half, and we played so well. We pressed as a unit. Aaron Moy in midfield did ever so well. He found spaces. He read the play so well. He knew exactly where he was going before he got the ball, and that really tells apart the good players from the great players. And Aaron Moy, he's a really standout player for the Socceroos. He's played in the Premier League before with Brighton and Huddersfield, and you can really see the Manchester City player in him as well. He obviously didn't play for Man City, but he was owned by them. And you can see, just his awareness of space and everything, all the rest, his technical ability really shown through. But yeah, look, the rest of the Aussie squad, not many players play in the top 5 leagues in Europe. Jackson Irvine plays in the second division in Germany. I just mentioned Duke, plays in the second division in Japan. And, we have a number of A-League players as well from Australia. I'm not saying these leagues are bad, but obviously, they're not on the level of the top 5 European leagues. That's just a fact. But they really came together and, converted the game plan that Graham Arnold set out. And, props to him as well. He came under a lot of scrutiny before the World Cup and in the qualification process as well. But, he stuck to his guns. And it's seeming that it's paying off right now as well. I don't think we even performed that badly against France. I just think, France is such a good squad. And if you had Kylian Mbappe in that side as well, he just scored 2 goals against Denmark, who were favourites to go far in the tournament as well. That just shows the level that France are on rather than Australia's level, in my opinion. Not saying that we were absolutely world class or anything like that against Tunisia, but perhaps a criticism could be in the second half we dropped off a bit too much, defending that 1-goal lead. when McLaren came on, Nabil came on, we did stretch the game a bit more, getting behind Tunisia a bit more, rather than whipping those balls into the box, which we constantly did with Mitchell Duke, which added a different dynamic to the game in the second half. But we definitely didn't control the ball as well. And naturally, that's going to happen defending a 1-goal lead late in a game in a World Cup, so you can forgive the Socceroos for that, I think. Harry Souttar as well at the back was absolutely immense. He only played 90 minutes, I believe, this year for Stoke City due to that ACL injury. So, and that was on early November as well. So for him to, come off the back of that, back up for 2 games, play against France, now play against Tunisia, and produce the performance he did. He was so solid at the back, so strong in the air, heading crosses away, directing danger away. Rouse makes that defensive error in the second half when loses the ball on the halfway line, and one of the Tunisian players is running through on goal, and Souttar just from nowhere absolutely burns pace, uses his pace to get back. And I didn't think he was that quick for such a big man, 6'6". He stands tall, but he produced an absolutely magnificent slide tackle, and also in the first half made that brilliant block. And also he was barely even in the frame as well, and he just sort of comes out of nowhere to get his body across in the first half, just in front of Matt Ryan, the goalkeeper, and it looked like the ball was going in as well. So crucial intervention from Souttar on a number of occasions against Tunisia, and just absolutely solid at the back. Graham Arnold, he prefers Rouse, and Souttar at the back, and that partnership is looking good, looking firm at the moment. So I believe we'll see those two against Denmark moving forward. But Harry Souttar, probably man of the match. Even his passing and distribution was first class as well, chipping those balls past the Tunisian press that was oncoming as well. So just magnificent performance from him, and long may that continue. Hopefully this goes a long way to advancing football in Australia on the international level and in the domestic leagues as well. Hopefully it doesn't paper over any cracks that are in the Australian game, because there are definitely some, it has to be said. And it is a growing league. There's so much room for improvement, so naturally there are going to be cracks in the setup and the systems in place. We know that there's no national youth league at the moment for the A-League clubs since the global pandemic. That's been suspended. Of course, there is the NPL divisions, the National Premier Leagues, which youth players play in, and A-League clubs have their youth players playing in those leagues as well. And I think that's probably around 30 games per season for those players. But we want players, the youth players, to be playing more, regularly, getting that development, and hopefully going on to be playing at World Cups. So that's what we want. And hopefully that this win can do that for the league and really start advancing things. Last year, Silver Lake, a private equity firm, invested in the A-League, bought a 33% stake for $140 million, and they're investing into the league, investing into the women's competition, which has recently been expanded, investing in the men's, investing in the youth, even investing in the digital side of things as well, the media. That's the media content that's coming out of the A-League as well. And so hopefully they can help to change the narrative, invest more in a game that's been largely not invested into due to other sporting codes. You've got the likes of rugby league, rugby union, AFL, which are the big players over here down under. So hopefully this result can put Australian football more on the map. That's what I'm hoping, and then that's far into the future, I guess, a bit more. The immediate focus is going to be Denmark in a few days' time, midweek. Thursday morning, I believe it's 2 a.m. kickoff Sydney time, but I'll be up for it nonetheless. If we draw, we go through to the round of 16 for the second time in Australia's football history at the World Cup. So let's hope the players can recover well. I'm not sure how much Graham Arnold, Arnie's going to change the squad. Players have backed up 2 games in a row now, apart from Atkinson at right back. Karasic came in for him against Tunisia. So we'll see what he does with the squad. Let's worry about that another time. Let's enjoy this Tunisia win.